felonies, including theft in office and tampering with evidence. He pleaded guilty to the charges last year. During his sentencing today, he told the judge about the regret he feels.
Your Honor, please do not send me to prison. I have wronged, but I'm not ruined. I still have a lot of good left in me.
Reeder will be taken into custody immediately. With a felony conviction, Reeder can never be a law enforcement officer or hold public office in Ohio again. And an Ohio State Buckeyes basketball player who received threats after the team's tough loss in the NCAA tournament is speaking out. Lindsay Mills has more from affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus.
E.J. Liddell said that he normally has really tough skin with this sort of stuff, but these messages stuck out, and he says this type of stuff needs to stop. Following the team's loss in the NCAA tournament on Friday to Oral Roberts in Indiana, he saw messages of threats on social media and shared the screen grabs on Twitter.
I just felt like it was time to say something, and a lot of other athletes also felt the same way, like they get comments like that all the time.
Now OSU police are handling the investigation. In Columbus, Lindsay Mills.
For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
The 2021 Honda Pioneer lineup is here to make light work of the job and add a heavy dose of fun to your day off. Every Pioneer side-by-side is stock full of smart technology, responsive power, and Honda's hallmark of engineering excellence. The only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet and eye protection, always wear your seatbelt, and keep the side nets and doors closed. Pioneers are for drivers 16 years and older.
Do you have an oak tree in your yard? Well, this sound could be deadly for it this time of year. Oaks all over Ohio are being killed by a fungal disease called oak wilt. It's carried by a bark beetle that just so happens to love freshly cut oak. So certified arborists are reminding people to not prune oak trees during the warm weather unless it's for safety reasons. Find out more by finding an ISA certified arborist near you at treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local. Just the way you like it.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this. I'm not buying till I checked on for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doane Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doane Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doane Ford. Online at DoaneFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doane Ford.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care of you.
Update your home's exterior with new siding and get 11% off everything at Menards. Timbercrest Premium Double 4-inch Vinyl Siding is engineered to be durable, 15% thicker, and has the look of natural cedar siding. It has a limited lifetime warranty and is available in 9 colors. $679 per 12.5-foot piece after 11% off. Good through March 27th. Savings or mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy skies. As the afternoon progresses, a few scattered showers will prevail. Daytime high near 75. Overnight low of 55 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Clouds and limited sunshine for your Friday with highs in the lower 60s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Really?
Roger that.
It's Thursday.
Why even call it Thursday? Problem? We have pizza on Thursday.
Please, quiet down.
Here's a complete disc jockey show with all the modern pace of today's exciting radio.
Good morning. Let's get started.
Seriously, let's go.
Your morning news, weather, and sports wrapped into his own unique perspective. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard in the producer's chair. Brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Well, in the immortal words of next famous philosopher R. Eugene Weisenheimer, hello, it's Thursday. And here we are ready to go again. Biff, when I was in school, I don't recall my parents. I'm sorry, yes, I do. I do recall my parents having to come in at least one time to, now that I think about it, at least two times come into, well, now that I think about it, there were several times that my parents had to come in to deal with the, with problems created by little Howie when he was a kid. And, and having to talk to the principal and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it was kids, picking on me, and sometimes me picking on kids. And so I get my parents did get involved, but they would just come in and, and talk, basically, right? And I remember when my kids, my three boys, were in school, and Nancy and I would occasionally have to go in and deal with some problems and talk to the teachers, talk to the principal. And sometimes it would be because other kids were being mean to my kids, and I don't like that. I haven't had to deal with that with Teddy whatsoever. Of course, it's not my responsibility. It's his parents' responsibility. But I know his parents have said to me once before, his dad said to me once before, any of those kids ever cause my boy a problem, they're going to have problems. You don't want things to... nobody wants things to go wrong with their kids, right, Biff?
Especially if you have girls.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to, right? Right?
No, because it's different for girls than it is boys because I think you're more protective when it comes to girls than boys. I mean, boys handle things on their own. You argue. I don't know if they still fight. I'm sure they do, but they fight and they take care of their business, and that's it. Girls, it's a heck of a lot different.
and I guess, and it's probably in this day and age, this is inappropriate gender, role playing or whatever. I think that the parents teach boys more to stand up for themselves, I mean, we're teaching Teddy that a little bit, if these kids are treating you bad, just treat them bad back, One good boom often takes care of things, right?
I mean, that's how that's what you do when it comes to boys. Yes, you handle it on your own.
Right. So I know that I think you're right. Boys are different. Girls sometimes maybe get a little more. Their parents get a little more support, and usually girls get more support from their mom. So here's the story I wanted to share with you out of one of our favorite states, Biffy.
Florida.
You got it. 34-year-old mom by the name of Edith Riddle went to her daughter's middle school down in Jacksonville, Florida. Seemed apparently her daughter had started a fight with another girl. And Mama was going to deal with this, all right? And this is, again, you get, Mrs. Riddle, hello, this is the principal. Your daughter's been involved in a fight. You better come in here and deal with it. I'll come in, okay. Well, when Mrs. Riddle came in, she had a boxing glove on her hand. And she came through the door, I don't know, security guard or the secretary. Somebody said, "Oh, ma'am, you have to take that boxing glove off your hand." She said, "I got it super glued on my hand." Oh, no. Okay. And so Mom went down into the cafeteria where the daughter was, found the girl who had been fighting with her daughter. Now, keep in mind, the story goes, her daughter's the one who started the fight, but found the girl that had been fighting with her daughter, And then boxing mom began to bam, 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 bam on the other girl.
Oh.
I guess you could say, well, at least she put a boxing glove on, But, and this is serious stuff. The girl ended up getting cuts on her knees, on her arms. Her parents pressed legal charges. And the woman was arrested, Mrs. Riddle, Edith Riddle, 34-year-old mom. She was arrested and charged with child abuse with a special weapon, which was boxing gloves. And when the parents got there, they too said, well, take that glove off. And she said, I can't, it's super glued on my wrist. Nobody can get it off. Well, she's facing charges.
And now her student is now facing embarrassment for the rest of her school career. Because
look at that. That's Riddle. Remember her mom was the boxing glove mom? I mean,
why? Don't go, especially, talk about bad timing, especially during lunchtime. You're in a cafeteria. I don't know how many kids go to the school or what the number is or how they do it, but I mean, say you got 100 kids that are having lunch or whatever. I mean, why embarrass your daughter like that? I mean, at least wait till after school.
Get them in the shadow of a tree or something when they're coming out. Bam! I mean, jeez.
No, but to go down in the cafeteria like that and just embarrassment. I mean, come on.
And she can't even claim it was the heat of the moment. Well, I got there to try and deal with the problem, and I just got so angry. She came to school wearing a boxing glove. The mother did. Super glued, so nobody could take it off of her. She knew what she was doing when she got there.
Oh, she clearly had this planned out.
And I think probably, Biffy, actually, if I had to guess, and I'm strictly guessing here, none of the stories I've read about this tell me this, but if I had to guess, I guess she purposely knew it was lunchtime. That way she could make a point to all the other kids to leave my kid alone or I'll come and beat you up.
Well, not only did she, think about this, she made a point, she made a scene, and she embarrassed her daughter for the rest of her school career.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just...
That's a heck of a day in one incident right there.
I don't know the daughter's name. Her name is Edith. The daughter, let's call her Barb. Barb is going to go through the rest of her life being the girl that has boxing mom. Boxing mom. That's boxing mom's daughter. 20 years from now at that school, they'll tell the story of boxing mom. Right? Yeah. I mean, jeez. 7:18 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Now let's stay in school, but let's go up to New York State. And this is one of those, seriously, you thought this was a wise idea stories. A student had caused some problems in the school. And when he got home, his mom said she noticed her son seemed sad. And so she said, what's wrong? What's wrong? He said, well, I got sent to the headmaster. It's a private school. I got sent to the headmaster's office today. What did you do? Well, I was working on an assignment in my literature class when I was supposed to be reading about something. Now, of all the problems kids can get into, working on a school assignment while you're supposed to be reading is really not that big a deal to me.
No.
I mean, I would say, well, I'm glad you were working on a school assignment. But anyway. So the kid says that, so he got sent to the headmaster's office. He said the teacher took the assignment, tore it up, took him to the headmaster's office. Once there, the headmaster told her son to kneel before me and apologize. Now, I should point out, the child is African American. And when mom went in to talk about this with the headmaster, what Why in the world? Kneel, what is that? When I asked him what happened, he began to tell me a story about an African family that attended the school years ago. And the father told him that when you bow, when you apologize, calling it the Nigerian way. And so this guy told the boy to kneel before me and apologize. That's the African way. Now, I don't know anything about the history of Nigeria or Africa or what the mode of apology was in Nigerian tribe. I don't know anything about that. Maybe it's true. But if you're the headmaster of a school in New York State, not in Nigeria, do you say to an African American, kneel and show me deference in the African way? I mean, it's just
the short answer with the way that things are going now, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there anything in your brain that goes, bzz, that's not a good thing to do?
Yeah, isn't there a light that's going off or something? I mean, and again, that should be common sense. You just don't do that.
and you know, there may be some history lesson there that's true, not true. I honestly don't know. And I just don't care because you're not in Nigeria. In fact, the mom says, which it's an example of they're all alike, you know, well, you're all alike. Mom says, we're not from Nigeria. We're not Nigerian.
Why?
We're not all the same. We're not all even Africans. We're Americans. We're certainly not all Nigerians.
You know what it is? It's giving someone just a little bit of power.
Little bit of power.
And overstepping.
Where's that little alarm buzzer? Where's the little alarm? Now, I know that private schools can have I don't know, a superior attitude, but I suppose the headmaster of a private school feels some power, right? And the parents are paying big money to get into these schools. I mean, this strikes me. I don't know the name of the school, although I'm looking at a picture of the building. This is one of those, almost looks like Harvard. Huge building, moss-covered wall, ivy-covered walls, not moss, ivy-covered walls. Looks like a really fancy-dancy. I bet it's expensive. And so probably it's, well, they pay me to take care of things. But where's the alarm bell? In this day and age, where's the alarm bell? Kneel before me. That's the African way. No wonder we have problems these days.
Does it say if he's still the headmaster?
No, he has been. He has resigned.
Oh, okay.
He has resigned.
Well, yeah.
The board of the school removed him temporarily from his job, and he has since resigned.
Because I'm sure they either told him, listen, here's your options. You either resign or we're firing you. Pick one.
Leadership of the school, this is a statement they issued, the leadership of the school continues to review the incident in question to ensure that it is never repeated again in any form. Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to we have to have something happen again before we say, oh, well, we got to make sure we don't do it again.
Before common sense kicks in.
Instead of after the first time it happened, why didn't you take care of it then? Why didn't you issue that statement after last year or whatever year the other incident happened?
Exactly. It's the Nigerian way. But we're not Nigerian. 7:24 on the Watchdog Morning Show. What's coming up today? Could West Virginia be a new destination for employees who want to work remotely? Now, I think there's a lot of problems with that, taken as a general comment, because we have too bad an internet system in West Virginia in many, many places. The broadband simply isn't there. But there are some places, like here in the Upper Ohio Valley, where we have good broadband. And so the first 3 cities have been named as participants in the Brad and Alice Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative. Brad Smith, of course, is the head of Intuit, a West Virginia native. He was on with the governor during his State of the State speech, and he's putting some money into this, trying to make West Virginia a haven for remote workers. And so they picked 3 cities right now to be test cities, if you will, for this. We'll talk with some folks from WVU about this whole program that's being designed with the money from Brad Smith. As the questions continue over at Bluefield State College, potentially leasing a space in the city of Wheeling, the college's provost, Ted Lewis, and their general counsel, Brent Benjamin, will both join us a little bit later on this morning. Bel Air is starting to develop a vision for its future. And boy, they got to, because its present is not the world's best. So they begin this with a community survey. Later on today, we'll talk to the executive director of the Belmont County CIC about the survey and about the Bel Air Vision Plan. On the COVID front, Governor Justice says bye-bye to the color-coded map. Vaccination efforts begin to focus on the younger population. Wheeling Hospital, I guess I should now say WVU Medicine, the signs went up yesterday. WVU Medicine Wheeling Hospital is starting its own vaccination appointment system and website, not using the state system now. All of this coming up. Also, a mystery drone. We mentioned the boxing mom. And candy scabs, underwear, ear wax, and camel balls in the legislature in West Virginia. Yep. All coming out of the mouth of Mr. Jockstrap, Senator Carnes. All of this is coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We are looking for a kind of a dark and dreary day today. Cloudy skies this morning. Rain comes in a little bit heavier this afternoon and into the evening hours. Daytime high, nice and warm, 70, 72 or so for the high. High wind watch kicks into effect overnight tonight, and look for high wind watch to stay with us during the day tomorrow. We'll check the full forecast with Zach a little bit later on. 7:27 on the Watchdog Morning Show, 54 degrees.
Tune into Marshall County's
Hard at work. Yes, sir, Bob. I can't. Exactly. Let's see. Do we have any games tonight? I'm pulling up my schedule here. What's tonight? We do. All right. When we come back, we'll preview the games, and I'll do a FanDuel, then we'll go to news. Unless you've got FanDuel in this break, do you? Okay, good. All right, so we'll preview the games and, stuff going on, and then we'll do a FanDuel, and then we'll do a news break. All righty. I got at 8:10, it's going to be both Brent Benjamin and Ted Lewis. I tried to get it to one of them. They both wanted to come on. So they'll be together. I don't know if they're calling in separately, and we'll link them up, or if they're going to be on one phone calling in. I don't know. 8:40 is Daniel Twilley from WVU on remote working, and 9:10 is Crystal Lorimer, who is the CIC director in Belmont County. Well, I'll be curious what they're thinking about. Yeah.
Work of the job, and add a heavy dose of fun to your day off. Every Pioneer side-by-side is stock full of smart technology, responsive power, and Honda's hallmark of engineering excellence. The only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet and eye protection, always wear your seatbelt, and keep the side nets and doors closed. Pioneers are for drivers 16 years and older.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy Paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Powhatan Point. The watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Powhatan Point trusts the watchdog.
You can vote in our Watchdog poll and read commentary in our blogs on watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
And I watch them roll away again. Just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide.
Oh yeah, I could go sit on the dock of the bay. You know, like the last couple of days would be good bay dock sitting. You know, dock bay sittings, whatever you call it. I can do that sitting on the dock of the bay. Unfortunately, it'll be rainy today. Hey, speaking of the Watchdog poll, the poll at watchdognetwork.com right now. I encourage you to go take it. Go to watchdognetwork.com and take our poll. Are you willing to pay higher taxes to get an income tax reduction in West Virginia? That is the proposal from Governor Justice. So how do you feel about it? Are you willing to pay higher taxes to get an income tax reduction in West Virginia? Right now, the overwhelming majority go, no. No, don't want to do that. But you can vote. Go vote in the Watchdog poll. You'll find it at watchdognetwork.com. 7:31, 29 before the hour, 54 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. And Biffy, we got some basketball tonight, right?
Yes, we do. This was a game that was added to the schedule. It was not on the original one. And it'll be tonight at 7 o'clock, just the varsity only. We're at Madonna at Wheeling Central tonight.
All right, we'll have that game for you here on the Watchdog, so check that out. And we've got a couple of games coming up this weekend too, right?
Yeah, we've got a couple basketball and a couple of WVU baseball games on Friday. First, the basketball game, Wheeling Park at John Marshall. That'll be on AM 1370 WVLY and 97.7 FM. That is 7:30. And then on AM 1600 WKKX 98.1 FM at 6:30. West Virginia baseball taking on Kansas. That is Friday. And then Saturday, this is a time change. North Marion at North Marion at Wheeling Central. Game time changed to 2:30. It was 7:30. It is now 2:30 on Saturday. And then following North Marion and Wheeling Central, it'll be West Virginia baseball taking on Kansas at 4 o'clock.
All right, so baseball and basketball for you this weekend. Tomorrow, Park John Marshall. And Saturday, it's Central and North Marion. Again, a time change on that. Take note of that to 2:30 in the afternoon. And more baseball, I should point out, on Sunday as well. So we got a lot going on tonight and through the weekend for you here on the Watchdog. So hopefully you'll have plenty of things to listen to. Remember, you can always listen on air, as Biff mentioned, at 97.7 FM or AM 1370 or AM 1600. But if you have a problem, you're out of the immediate area or out of the area of one of those stations, just listen to us on using a TuneIn radio app, real crystal clean, clear audio there. Or you can listen to us on our website, watchdognetwork.com, where we have the streaming audio for each of our individual stations. And sometimes we put the games on, our local games on Zoom as well. Or not Zoom, but on Zoom, but on Facebook too. So
yes, Zoom is how we broadcast them. And yes, sometimes we do put them on our Facebook page as well.
So if you, what you ought to do in general, frankly, is set yourself up for live notifications on the Watchdog page. That way, whenever any of us go live, like this show is live right now on Facebook Live, or Bill DeFabio, Big Rick, when we go live at any point, you'll get a quick notification. Howard Monroe has gone live, or the Watchdog has gone live, it'll tell you. And the same thing is true if we have a game in the evening that's live on Facebook, you'll get that notification. So once you set up live notifications on your Facebook page. And if you are watching us on Facebook Live this morning, I do ask you to do two things. Like us and share us. I've been noticing there are a couple of people who immediately on signing in start to share us. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just hit the like button. I got a love button, the heart from someone the other day. And it's someone that I don't think actually cares for us. I think they were being funny.
Yeah.
I know who it was, and it's like, no, you don't really like this. You listen to get irritated. But hey, whatever it takes. Like us and share us. That is the important thing. It's 7:35 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. You know that big tournament, the tournament I'm talking about, Biff, the big tournament.
Yes, I understand the big tournament.
It is down to just 16 teams now. So if you've been watching from the sidelines, now is your chance to get in on the action with our good friends
at FanDuel
Sportsbook. They're hooking you up with exclusive 30-1 odds on all of the 16 teams left in the brackets, even the top seeds. That's right. New users get 30-1 odds on any team to win their next game this round. You can win $150 and only put down $5 on it. All right, so great time to be using FanDuel and kind of getting a little extra cash because of the way they're offering this for you. All you have to do is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, make your first deposit, and then unlock those 30-1 odds. The app is easy to use, and of course, when you win, you get paid very quickly in as little as 24 hours, which is a really important thing. Sign up with promo code Monroe. That way they know that I sent you. Sign up using promo code Monroe, M-O-N-R-O-E. That way they know I sent you. FanDuel Sportsbook. Now, you must be 21 or older, physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. New users only. Must wager in the designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. Maximum bonus, 150 smackaroos. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem in West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. Great time to do some betting. They got some special deals for you. 31 odds. You can't beat that with the stick as the tournament moves on. And of course, if you are in our Watchdog Madness contest, you're paying close attention. The current Watchdog Madness brackets are posted on our Facebook page, the Watchdog Facebook page, and on watchdognetwork.com, so you can check and see where you are. Each of the contestants in our 64 starting participants were matched up with a team in the 64 teams, and now we've slowly begun to work them down. Gonzaga is number 1 seed, and we have Lisa is up with that. Let's see, who's Oral Roberts? I saw this the other day. Lee Pagliacetti is Oral Roberts. All right, so it's this is kind of one of the Cinderella teams. So there you go. There. Anyways, follow along, and you can see not only what teams are going to win, but which Watchdog listener has a chance to win the big screen TV courtesy of West Liberty University. The Watchdog Madness contest underway. Check out the pairings, if you will, on our Facebook page or watchdognetwork.com. High wind watch coming up this evening. Not now, but not till this evening, but it's going to be a doozy apparently. In the meantime, a little bit of rain this morning and a lot of rain this afternoon. Zach is in with the full forecast. That's after we check some headlines for you, and Billy D has morning sports.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your...
The Steelers signed linebacker Cassius Marsh to a one-year deal. Hey, be safe out there. Be considerate of others. Please check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are AM 1600, the Watchdog.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them, just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Listen to the Bill DeFabio Variety Show with Bill DeFabio and Lola Miller. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, The Watchdog.
We're on air, online, on video, and on demand. Find us where you like us. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
The COVID vaccine protocols are kind of changing a little bit. More people are going to simply directly to the drugstores and so on. And it's creating some problems for health departments and others. We'll talk about that. Plus, believe it or not, there are a lot of companies in this country and some around here that are actually paying their employees who will get a vaccine, which is, I guess, a good deal if you work for those companies. So we'll talk about all of that coming up in a minute or two. Right now, let's talk about the weather. Zach Petty is here from the Big 7, WTRF-TV. Good morning, Zach.
Well, good morning, Howard. How are you, sir?
I am well. Yourself today?
It's been a hectic morning. Technology does not like me for some reason this morning. All of my weather graphics weren't updating, and Doc left me a note saying that some of our weather model data was old. It wasn't updating correctly, so that was a headache. And some of my weather graphics were they just didn't want to work today. They wanted to take they were taking a personal day off, I guess, and they weren't supposed to. They didn't get my approval.
You know, technology is our friend, but just like our real friends, sometimes they can be pains in the ass.
They really can. I could not agree more with that statement.
And you will get great sympathy from Brother Biff, who from time to time goes through these same technological troubles, right, Biff?
Yes, every once in a while it does happen, and I'm reminded that, I got to remain calm and slowly work my way through them before I do something bad.
Serenity now. Serenity now. I know there's real trouble when Biff says to me things like, This thing's going to be a boat anchor in the Ohio River pretty soon. So
that definitely would be the call of, okay, this all systems not good, all systems no go.
Systems were good yesterday. I just had one of those really pleasant afternoons yesterday. We got home, brought Teddy home, and he was swinging on the swing in our front yard. I just sat on our glider, and I was just enjoying the afternoon. It was sunshine and nice little breeze. It was just such a pleasant afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, it truly was. Temperatures got up to the mid-70s. Some areas were a bit cooler in the lower 70s, but all in all, kind of feeling like a summer day. How Stephen and I were talking about it is what it reminded us about.
Yeah, it really did, and it was like a summer evening, just sitting outside, and even after Teddy went home, I just sat on the glider on our front area, and I just sat out there and was, watching the world go by. It was kind of fun. Unfortunately, today it may not be a sit outside day, right?
Yeah, maybe not so much a sit outside, but more of a bring that glider inside, or else it will be gliding around the neighborhood, because we got some high winds to talk about, and let's get through it with our 7-day forecast. So in terms of today, Howard, looks like the morning's relatively nice. I'm not sure if you can peek outside right now. Looks like the sun's out. A couple of clouds may be in the Ohio Valley skies, but more abundant cloud coverage is likely as we head closer to lunch. And right in the afternoon hours, early afternoon, 1, 2, 3 o'clock is when we can expect to see some rain showers starting to develop. And there actually could be a stray rumble of thunder or two. We are in a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, or a marginal risk for severe weather. And what would be the prominent hazard, or the most important threat that I'm worried about, is going to be the winds. And those are likely to swing by late this evening through the early morning hours tomorrow. The National Weather Service out of Pittsburgh has issued a high wind watch that is set to expire tomorrow afternoon, and we actually could be seeing wind gusts of 60 miles per hour in some areas of the Ohio Valley. Now, again, not everyone's going to see 60-mile-per-hour gusts, but I would not be surprised as I wake up and head into work tomorrow that we could be pushing close to 50 at the airport. So bring all those, projectiles is what I'm trying to think of. But anything that could be easily blown around, I guess it's probably still a little bit too early for some people having lawn furniture out and the umbrellas. But, I don't know, garbage cans, put those in a tucked-in corner. If you're having your bike outside, probably want to bring that in just to keep it in your yard, so that way you're not trying to find it in someone else's.
That's a good point. Even yesterday, we had a couple of real gusts that came through the area, and I noticed a couple of the empty garbage cans that were sitting around in the neighborhood got blown over and stuff. So yeah, it's a good point. With high wind advisory, high wind watch set for overnight and into tomorrow. The things that aren't tied down, just get them in. Could be you want to be careful about that. Otherwise,
and we're trying not to play the doom and gloom, but there could be some down trees and power lines, just because I didn't think about it, but I could go back in the data books and talk to Dr. Dave to see when the last time we've had wind gusts like this. But from what I was seeing, at least on some social media posts, that it's been a couple of years since we had gusts upwards of 60 in the area. So definitely been a while, so we just have to get reminded of, hey, Mother Nature is powerful, winds are strong, take it for what it is and get your stuff in before you're scrambling to find it the next day.
Biffy, when I used to have the satellite dish on the building across the street, you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
That roof was not the world's best roof. It was anchored to the roof, but I always had visions of a wind gust just pulling those anchor bolts out. And whenever we had high winds, I spent the entire time panic-stricken that satellite dish was going to become a flying saucer. So I'm glad we have moved that and anchored it down better and so on, because I spent years that every time there was a storm, it's like, oh, please don't let that dish blow away. Please don't let it blow away.
I was actually up on that roof one time, I think, with the engineer looking at it, because we were trying to figure out how in the hell we were going to get it down.
My fear always was we'd just blow down someday, so thank God we don't have to worry about that. So today, some sun, some clouds, some rain, winds tomorrow, and then heading into the weekend, what do we look forward to, Zach?
Mostly sunny. The beginning half of the weekend is very nice, almost a picturesque one. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s for your Saturday, but Sunday doesn't look as nice. Looks like a couple of rain showers are likely in the morning and afternoon. Temperatures will still hover in the 60s, but you won't be outside as much, so that makes you get ahead of schedule, get out and about on your Saturday. Don't wait and put any yard work out into Sunday, because I'm not sure you're going to be out too much unless you want to dodge a couple of raindrops. But I'm not good at dodging raindrops. I always say, no raindrops going to hit me, but I always get soaked whenever I run to my car. So I'm not as nimble or swift, I guess, as I think I am.
Start the week next week with a nice sunny day on Monday, then some more rain comes in again later in the week, right?
Yeah, it looks about that. We have cooler air starting on Monday, maybe temperatures in the low 50s. We'll warm back up though as we head into the midpoint of the next work week. And again, pushing close to the mid to upper 60s by the time Thursday and Friday rolls in. So all in all, not too bad, just something that we have to deal with. And by the way, next, I think it's Wednesday, is the last day of March. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Crazy.
So March came in like A and going out like A what? I think when it came in, we weren't sure. It was kind of like, a little lammy, a little liony. So how's it going to go out?
Yeah. I think it's going to go out relatively calm. I don't expect it to be too bad. So I'm going to say lamb and lamb almost to both, Howard.
Okay. All right. Well, I like the lambs. Little lammies are good. So that's good.
Yeah.
First day of spring is, not first day of spring. What am I talking about? First day of April is,
next Thursday.
Wednesday?
Next Thursday, yes.
Thursday.
Because that is when we plan on going golfing, I believe, is next Thursday.
Oh, you getting back? You gonna get back out and hit? Man, I tell you, they've been out there like crazy, Biffy. I watch them every day on all of the courses.
And I told, I thought it would be this week, but with the way the weather's going to look, and Zach, between 3 and 5, that rain will hit. Trust me, because it's Thursday.
Yep.
So next week is the week that we plan on going, I believe.
I'll put a dome over Ogilvy for you.
Yeah, do that. We'd appreciate that.
You have to make that. It's starting next Thursday. Then that's an official feature of our radio chat. Is the what is the golfing weather for Biff going to be? You got to pinpoint that down to his golfing time. So.
Yep.
All right.
Tee off and everything. We'll get it down.
All right. Hey, Zach, thanks a lot, my friend. Talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your day, gentlemen.
All right. You too. Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV. I wonder but you have you been out at all golfing? Not just with your group on Thursdays, but have you been out at all yet, Biff?
No, my uncle and I tried a couple weeks ago, I think on a Wednesday, and it was the day where they were calling for the rain in the morning. Then it was we had a little break, but then rain again in the afternoon and in the evening, and that was the only time we had thought about it and tried. And when we saw the weather, we said, no, we better not. It was a good thing that we did, but other than that, no. So hopefully next week the weather cooperates, and on April Fool's Day, the fools will be out golfing.
Well, good luck to you on that. We've been driving around the area a lot in the afternoons because of the nice weather. At Wheeling Park, Ogilvy Park, Country Club course. I mean, there's plenty of people already out on the courses. Really have been enjoying the good weather we've been having. So hopefully next week we'll you got a reasonably good number of golf rounds in though last summer, right? I mean, you didn't get a lot, but you got a reasonable number in.
We did. I think going back maybe, I want to say there were about 3 or 4 weeks that the weather didn't cooperate, and there were some other things, but no, for the most part, when I look back on it, I realized it was a better year than I had thought, really.
Yeah. I was talking with some folks who work in the golf arena and recently, and they were saying that last year was actually a pretty good year for golfing. We tend to think of the pandemic year, but it was something that people could do, socially distanced, outdoors. If you could golf. I mean, it was something that people could do when everything else was shut down. So it was actually not a bad year for golf courses.
Yeah, it was one of the few things you could do. And again, we went over it how many times being outdoors and how they did the people riding in golf carts, and I'm sure they had, if you had tee times or whatever, they scattered the tee times around kind of like the PGA does or whatever. So there were things in place that it kind of made it easier for golf courses really to follow guidelines no matter what state, whether Ohio, West Virginia, or Pennsylvania.
Did you see the story in the paper this week about the father son, both of whom had holes in one of the country club course?
Yeah, and that was a pretty neat story.
Yeah, it really was. I think it was Steve Block and his son Stuart Jr. I think that's the way it works, or the other way around. Anyway, and they are of the Block family, the folks who had the Block brothers and Stuart Block, who just passed away, a year ago or so. I got to know Stuart fairly well in his later years. Crotchety old guy, but we got along pretty well. He was, Stuart was, one of the founding members of the Wheeling Country Club, and he ended up being president of the PGA at one point. I mean, he was a huge golfer. And then his family, two members of his family, I want to say son and grandson, I forget the relationship. But first of all, I guess it's the grandson hits a hole-in-one, right? First hole-in-one ever for him. And then like a few holes later dad comes along, hits his hole-in-one. That's got to be phenomenal, I mean, dad and son together, their first holes-in-one at the same course the same day. In this playing together, that's just, wow.
Yeah.
That's just, when I read the story, I almost got chills,
Yeah, I don't think anybody in our group has had a hole-in-one, but I think my nephew will probably have one before I do. I mean, he's already kind of got the swing down. He's a hockey player with a golf swing, if for people that understand that. So, yeah, I think the little guy will have a hole-in-one before I do.
We stopped at the par 3 again. We pick up Teddy and we ride through the park and we stopped at par 3. I'm just looking at the course. I don't see too many people out on par 3. When I was not just a kid, but when I was a young adult, par 3 people were at par 3 all the time. It was a great way to get in some quick rounds of golf without having to spend a lot of time.
I think when I learned, like you said, it was the par 3. Wheeling Park and over at the what is now the fairway, the old Mazeroski golf course, and that was it. I mean, those were the three places where I kind of learned how to play the game. I mean, when I would go with the guys, I'd be on the green and putt a little bit, but those were the three places where I learned to play.
When I was a kid, we would hit the driving range up at Ogilvy, and then around at par 3. And again, because it's quick and easy, you didn't have to devote a whole day to it. So, but I've been noticing it doesn't seem as if there's many people there, as many people using it. Teddy asked when he could go golfing, and I told him, I said, you know what? This summer, Granddad's going to take you. We'll come over to par 3 where I won't be too embarrassed. I've been golfing for a long time, but if Teddy wants to go, by golly, I'll take him.
That's great that he's shown interest in that, and that's what we're going to need is the more younger golfers picking up the game.
Well, we sit and watch what there is on par 3. Only a couple of people usually playing, but he gets a kick out of that, and. So I told him we'd take him up to the driving range one of these days and let him hit a bucket of balls, and we'll give a try to the, to par 3.
Make sure you get video of that.
I wouldn't be. I mean, I might be a little bit embarrassed, but at least if my embarrassment on par 3 could be a lot less than if I were to try and hit any of the other courses. So we'll see. All right, the big story of the past week or so here has been the MOU between Bluefield State College and the city of Wheeling. We'll pursue that a bit more coming up next hour with a couple of Bluefield State officials. It's 8 o'clock.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
His first formal news conference.
Hey, Biffy, Brent and Ted, I said 8:10. Actually, when I said that, they told me they wouldn't be available until 8:15, so we'll have a few minutes to kill before we get to them. Just be aware. And again, I don't know if they're calling in separately or if they're calling in together, but it'll be about 8:15, so. Okay, just letting you know. All right, I'll be back in a minute.